sticky. I'm going to have to snap out of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Snap out of it.
Okay, snapping out of it. Ready?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes.
You didn't do the countdown yet.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, great. Hi! Welcome to Paleo with Paleo. We're here today to cook some pork, and we're also going to do some asparagus along with fudge for you to make for your loved ones for Valentine's Day, if you want to do that. The pork is going to be a bacon-wrapped pork, because when I want to tell somebody that I love them, I give them bacon. So I hope that you all enjoy the show, and welcome. Right, it's fudge time. We're going to make some fudge. I have honey, cocoa powder, coconut oil, vanilla, almond butter, and chocolate chips. These things are going to be set aside. They're going in later, but right now I'm going to throw this all into my food processor and mix it up. Here we go. Almond butter. Ugh. Food generally grosses me out. I know that weirds people out, but it does. It makes weird noises. It looks weird. I'm not going to dump all of the coconut in. I'm just going to put most of it in because I'm going to sprinkle a little on top when the fudge is done. Vanilla. And some honey. Some honey. That's like, ooh, almost dropped that. I think I have a cup of honey. Just a tip really quickly, when you're working with honey, it's super extra sticky if you oil your bowl or your spoon first with coconut oil or olive oil, just a little bit. It'll help the honey slip right out. So we're just going to blend all of this together quickly. Just going to scrape down the sides real quick. I missed a little bit there. And I'm going to pulse it one more time. Whoa, you know, calm down, food processor. Okay, this is all of the fudge, but we're gonna make it black and white, so I'm gonna pour half of it into my prepared pan, and then I'm gonna mix the cocoa powder in with the rest. So, take that off. I should have an apron on. I have a white shirt on today. Probably throw that on in the next bit. Yeah. Right. This is my parchment paper. It won't stay in the pan, but as soon as I get this in there, it will. I'm just going to pour about half of it in there. When you're making this fudge, if you have a smaller pan, your layers will be either thicker or thinner depending on what size pan you decide to go with. So that's about half, and I'm just going to spread it out. Probably I have too big of a pan. I'm realizing that now. So I'm going to make a quick change. Whoop! Because I cut this parchment paper, I'm just going to fold it around the edges and then pop this in the freezer until it's frozen. And then we'll add our cocoa powder and put the second layer on. So I have everything, I have half of my fudge in here still because I'm going to make it the chocolate part. So I'm just going to add a tablespoon or 2 or 3 or 4 when I feel like it's right, and spin it, and that would be the chocolate top to our white bottom. It's probably 2 tablespoons in there now. I think I want it a little bit darker than that. And we already added the honey in here, right? So it's going to be sweet, even though I'm not adding sweetener to this part. And that's going to sit and wait for the bottom half to freeze. Once that's frozen, we'll pour this on top. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and start our pork tenderloin. We're going to season this pork tenderloin. You'll probably want to do 2, but because there's just 2 of us here eating today, I'm only going to do 1. So salt. I'm pretty liberal with salt. You can put as much or as little on as you want. And then, this is herbes de Provence. You could use any kind of herb blend that you want. Italian seasoning works well too, but I prefer these herbs. So I'm just going to kind of smash that in, flip it over, rinse my hands off, because I don't want pork in my salt. Okay, then I'm going to just do the other side real quick. Salt and herbs. And then I really suggest that you pound it in. Not pound it, but squish it in because you want the herbs to stick. You don't want them to fall off. So there's our seasoned pork tenderloin. And the next step is to wrap it up in bacon, the best part. A thought on bacon. I love bacon. Bacon. No, you cut me. No, now we're done.
Yeah, go.
Okay, so I'm getting ready to wrap my pork loin in bacon. So I'm cutting my bacon in half to fit around this smaller sized, whatever this is, pork tenderloin. You can buy them in bulk at Costco. I actually got 4 for 20 bucks. So it's like $5 a piece. That's really not bad at $3.99 a pound. But if you want to go with a bigger tenderloin, you can. You'll probably find them more at the grocery store in the butcher aisle than at Costco, and you can pick out the big fat one. It's going to take longer to cook. So that is started to wrap. I'm going to try to be a little bit graceful with this, but I'm just going to tuck it in, and then I'm going to try and flip it over, and I'm going to tie it off with twine. If you don't have kitchen twine, you can use toothpicks. I do have kitchen twine. Hopefully I have enough to do this. So I'm just tucking. All right. Good. I'm getting ready to flip my pork loin over gracefully so that I don't lose too much of the bacon. Woo, that's okay. That it flipped like that, no big deal. Just gonna tie it back around. I'm kind of wishing I'd left my bacon a little longer because I'm gonna sear this in the pan, hot pan on my stove first, and that bacon's gonna shrink. But bacon is pliable and you can stretch it. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to stretch it around so that the ends connect. And then I'm going to start with my kitchen twine. Okay. I didn't do the 1, 2, 3 thing.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, great. So this is my kitchen twine. It comes on a spool like this. Don't get regular string because I think it has chemicals and stuff in it, and this is just like regular string. I have seen people use like colored toothpicks or colored string and it will dye your meat. And nobody wants that. So I'm cutting about, I don't know, that's probably 8 inches. And then I'm going to slide it underneath my pork loin to get it around the bacon. I've already done one, starting from the middle going out. I'm going to take my pork tenderloin that's now wrapped and tied in bacon and throw it in my hot pan to sear it and get that bacon started sizzling. So you'll notice when I dropped that into the pan, I didn't grease the pan first because there's, as that bacon cooks down, it's going to grease the pan for me. You'll also notice that my pan isn't quite big enough for the whole length. Don't let that discourage you. Just squish it in the best you can. And we're going to flip it a couple times, get the bacon nice and brown. I'm using my fingers just to check on it, and it's not done yet, so I'm going to give it a few minutes on that side, and then we'll flip it over and do the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to flip it over, just rolling it. It's pretty hot, so if you want to use tongs, by all means, but it's like fingers of steel. It doesn't bother me. Let that simmer on the other side. I want that to be a little bit more brown, so I turned the heat up just a touch to really get it going. So my phone is ringing. Sorry, hold on 1 second. I pulled the bottom half of my fudge out of the freezer. It's solid. So I'm going to go ahead and take the second half that we just added cocoa to and pour it on top. Just like that. And then this goes back in the freezer to firm up. And by the time that's done, this will be done. Beautiful. That's okay. I forgot to top this while it's still liquid. It's going to freeze pretty quickly, so I want to get my toppings on before I freeze it. Sorry I forgot that part. I just have some dark chocolate chips I'm going to sprinkle on like that. And then some coconut. Awesome. Okay, now it goes in the freezer. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna eat this piece right here. It's taking forever because I fucked it up. Just because of the pan setting. I'm disappointed, but it's gonna be okay. I'm excited to eat it. You see how it's brown now? How now, brown cow? It's not a cow, it's a pig, but it's browning. This won't take as long as it's taking me today. Not that you guys know how long it's taking. Either way. I had to mess with it a little bit. What fun is raw meat if you don't get to play with it? Yeah, look at that. See? Beautiful. Give it a go on the other side for a little bit. Very nice. Fashionable. Alright. Mckay added the bacon. I didn't add that. Ugh. In there. Okay, so I'm just getting all four sides of this thing crispy a little bit. Looks good. Actually, I think I might move it onto my pan. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this onto the baking sheet. And I'm going to throw it into a preheated 375-degree oven. I'm going to fix Mckay's bacon because apparently he doesn't know how to cook bacon. Alright. 10 to 15 minutes and it'll be done. I have a lot of friends in real life, not a lot but some, and we talk about paleo a lot, and I think everybody I know has tried it, and they all kind of fall off the paleo bandwagon because it takes too much time, but I think that's kind of a cop-out because I'm the busiest person I know, and I can make it work. I work full-time, I go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, I have 2 kids, I'm always on the go, I do a cooking show, all these important things, and I still manage to make time to eat healthy and paleo. So, you can make it happen if you want. No excuses. That's all. I'm not going to flip the camera on this time. Hannah's really on. And I can use it again to make some asparagus. Okay, I'm getting ready to cook my asparagus. I've already trimmed it. I just cut the ends off. I'm going to crush my garlic and then I'm going to throw just the asparagus in my pan. But I put it on a plate so it's pretty for you guys. I don't want to dirty any more dishes. If I put the garlic in with the asparagus right off the bat, it's going to burn. And it tastes like dog shit. So don't burn your garlic. Okay. Fire alarm is going to go off, so be prepared for that. But we're going to pull the pork tenderloin out of the oven. We're going to let it rest for a few minutes while I cook the asparagus. That is a double pork tenderloin. It smells great. It's sizzling. And I'm just going to let it rest for like 10 minutes. Start the asparagus. I'm going to put probably 2 tablespoons. You can never have too much butter. It's like bacon's cousin. We're going to throw the butter into the pan. Like that. Don't miss. I almost missed. It's a pretty warm pan. This is the same pan I cooked the bacon in. So I'm going to pull up some of those bits. Because you can flavor anything with bacon and it's going to be good. So then we're just going to pan fry our asparagus. I'll throw that in as well. Whoop. And you're just going to stand here and kind of flip it around until it's going to turn really bright, beautiful green. And you just stir it until you're ready to take it off. Just kidding. There's more steps than that, but for now, that's what you're doing. And you want it to get a little brown. It's going to pull out all the flavors. It's going to make your pea smell awesome. I just cut up my pork tenderloin. It smells and looks delicious. You can cut them around the bacon. You can cut the bacon in half. You can cut the twine off, or you can leave the twine on. If you leave the twine on and you have guests over, remind them to take that off. If you're using toothpicks, be forewarned when you sear it. Toothpicks are going to break. They're going to get stuck in your meat, and then you're going to want to not choke on them. I don't know. Anyway, that's all. You want to come film this real quick? I'm going to salt these. You can see they're pretty brown and they turn that bright green I was talking about. So I'm going to throw in my salt and pepper, and I'm going to put my garlic in now. And then I'm going to throw some grape tomatoes in with those. Whew. Just inhaled some pepper. That was awesome. So I'm going to stir this around and get that garlic spread out. And then this is probably only going to take another 5 minutes to cook. Really, really simple, really delicious. Beautiful. And we're going to pick some pork out to put on the plate. I'm going to take these two here. I'm going to go ahead and take the twine off. Aw, stay, bacon. Thought we were friends. It's okay. Have another chunk. Put it on there. And you have bacon and asparagus. We're concluding this episode. No, we're not, because we still have fudge in the fridge we gotta deal with. But let's try it now. I've been directed that I need to hurry the hell up and try the food. So I'm going to start with the bacon wrapped pork loin, which I already know is delicious because I can smell it. And my pork and a little bit of bacon. Ooh. It's good. This is good too. I already ate some of it. Tomato. This is really hot. I already know because I've burned myself 100 times on hot tomatoes, so be careful. But it really took on the garlic flavor. It's bomb. I'm gracefully gonna mow down on this asparagus. Delicious! We took our fudge out of the freezer. I'm just gonna pull it out like that. When I pull the parchment away, you'll see the 2 layers that are there. See? So I'm just going to cut it up on my cutting board. This will melt pretty easily, so you want to store it in the fridge, but I'm just going to start slicing through it. Ooh. See? 2 layers of fudge. And then I'll throw it back in my little pan. If you want to get super fancy, you can put it in little cups like that. This is probably one of the best paleo dessert recipes I've made, and it doesn't require any cooking, just freezing. So I'm going to keep doing this, and I think that's the end of our show. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. Peace out, trouts. Ah!